Hello everyone, so a month ago I did a video about the fact that I wanted to maybe do the JLPT N5 exam for Japanese, and I decided that as well I would do a review every month to kind of let you know about my progress and the good and the bad essentially. So speaking of the bad, I wasn't productive enough. I didn't do enough revision, I didn't do really any kind of, textbook practice, using Japanese for busy people to practice Japanese and doing a bit of grammar and writing, etc. And that was very frustrating. And I tried to identify why that happened. And the first sort of reflex that I had was to say, oh, I didn't have time. Personally, the phrase, I don't have time, is a phrase I'm trying to ban from my vocabulary because the more I think about it, the more I think it's not justified for anyone to say that. I mean, I know the reflex when people told me that or when I first heard about this idea that not having time is an excuse. My first reflex was to be like, oh yeah, but I work, I need to sleep, I need to do my cooking, I need to do this and this and that. And actually it's a bunch of excuses because think of it, if your house was on fire right now, you would definitely find the time to call the emergency services or, what do you even call that in English? Yeah, emergency services? The firemen, the fire station, whatever. So, and that shows that, if you really want to, you can find the time to do whatever you like. And what it actually comes down to is priority. It's all about how you prioritize your time, and I think I haven't prioritized my time very well, and it's something that I will be working on for this month, March. And I think in the video that I posted a month ago talking about how I wanted to do the JLPT N5, I mentioned the fact that I wanted to kind of see how it goes. I didn't really try to give myself a specific time where I would do the revision, and I think that failed. And I kind of knew what's going to happen, but I still wanted to test myself and see if I was able to do, the revision anyway. And I found out that it doesn't work for me. I don't know if for you it works. I don't know if you're the kind of person to just be able to, not really plan anything fixed and still be able to do it, but I know I'm not. So what I'm going to try to do in March is to find some time in the morning, so waking up maybe 15-20 minutes earlier to do some revision. I'm lucky enough that I don't start work too early, so I can afford, I would say, to wake up a little bit earlier. So I think I'm gonna aim for 7:30 maybe, and use 20 minutes to essentially do my revision. So I don't know exactly what I'll be doing in those 20 minutes, but I would like to maybe do a bit of textbook practice, a bit of writing, maybe for 10 minutes, and then do a bit of Memrise, which is actually something I've started to do. It's a course on Memrise, which is essentially for the JLPT N5 vocab. If you're interested, I will put a link in the description below, or if I can't put a link, I will give you the name of the course. And this course has actually been very helpful because I managed to retain some of the kanji that I've learned in the course, and I don't actually make a lot of mistakes on Memrise, which is very encouraging. So it was quite nice to find motivation in being able to remember the kanji and the vocab in general. So it's definitely something I want to keep doing because if it makes me happy, then it's something I should do more of. But the issue with Memrise for me was the fact that I didn't do it regularly enough. It's actually something that I've started doing towards the middle of the month, and I wish I had learned about this course earlier, but now I know. And yeah, so it's essentially something I want to keep doing. So yeah, I think for next month it will be interesting for me to kind of talk about how working or studying in the morning has worked out for me. And I will try, as I have been in this video, to be honest with you and let you know if I messed up or if it worked, and see, and try to adjust, because I think that's the key thing I want to sort of convey in this video, is the fact that if something doesn't work, there is no point for you to feel bad about it. I mean, do feel bad for 2 seconds, but don't hold on to this, because I think it's not really very productive. Because I think in a situation where you didn't manage to do what you wanted to achieve, you have 2 options. Either you feel bad about yourself and then you just get angry, upset, etc., and then you may give up, because if it's something that gives you a negative emotion, you don't want to do it again. Or the other option is to look at it in a positive light, such as, it didn't work, but it doesn't mean I can't do it differently. I just need to rethink the way I do things. Maybe I should stop doing this particular thing and do something else instead. So these thoughts are actually more productive and they help you to progress towards your objective. Negative emotions don't do that, so it's something that I kind of tried to realize this month. I hope that made sense what I tried to say. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about, is the fact that I did a review of Japanese from 0 2 weeks weeks ago, or at least 2 weeks ago when you watch this video, and I sent the review to them and they enjoyed it so much that they offered to send me book 2 and 3 and 4 for me to review them. And it's actually very exciting because I really like Japanese from Zero as a series. I think it's great. And book 2 actually is focused on learning the katakana, which is one of my main objectives in terms of writing. So it's going to be quite interesting, I think, to try to include these books into my routine of practicing and learning Japanese. And I will make sure to review them next month if I do use them, or at some point during the sort of updates I will be doing in the next few months. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you found this video helpful. As usual, I always try to be helpful. It's nice to be helpful. If you want to share any of your experiences of, doing your language goals and, the struggles, the good, the bad, then do feel free to share them in the comment section. There's something quite motivating in reading other people's experience with language learning, and I always like reading them essentially. So, I'm happy to read you if you want to share your experience. And I will see you next week. Bye!